Alright, yo, what is going on, you guys? My name's Bubba, and welcome back to another insane story. So this one I really did not want to tell because I actually needed, funny enough, my nurse's permission to tell this story. But if you guys don't know, basically I've had the same nurse, or aka same doctor slash nurse kind of lady, for almost like 10 years. And I remember back when I was a kid, I won't lie, she was really attractive. Like, she was hot. Anyways, going on though, basically I remember this all takes place back when I was in grade 6. In grade 6, that's when, like, you know, middle school happens and you kind of start to hit puberty, but you're at the same time kind of growing, and you know, you start kind of just forming emotions and hormones start acting up. I don't know how to explain it, but you guys know what I mean. Anyways, I remember back when I was in grade 6, there was a week where I was really sick. And by really sick, I mean like puking and dying sick. It was one of the worst things ever, and I literally remember how I was always like literally sitting on my bed all curled up in a ball and holding my stomach as hard as I can. Like, I think we all know that feeling, and it literally sucks. But going on though, I remember I was having that feeling. My mom would always walk in saying, "Baba, let me take you to the doctor. You shouldn't be laying in bed like that. Please, let me take you to the doctor, Baba." And me, I would always just be laying there going, "No, I don't want to go to the doctor. Ew, the doctor sucks." Yeah, I would literally say that. And instead, I would always just kind of like start playing video games and stuff. But then I remember it got to the point where I literally missed like basically a week of school, and my mom was pissed. And by pissed, I mean she was not happy that I was missing school just because I was sick. So I remember my mom literally got me up and dragged me to the doctors. Like, literally, she said, "If you don't get up and go to the doctor, I'm unplugging your Xbox." Yeah, no, if you touch my Xbox or any of my gaming systems, bro, I'll do anything. Like, literally anything. Okay, not anything, but you guys know what I mean. So I remember literally I got up, I got dressed, I basically went to the doctors, and when I was with her, I remember I was holding her hand and walking into the place. When I got there, I remember I did feel sick and I did not want to be there, but it sucked. It really sucked knowing I got to the doctors. But then out of nowhere, I remember as we're sitting waiting in the waiting room, I go look at this wall which I had like all the doctors basically like all in line, kind of like a class photo somewhat, and I saw this really hot doctor on there. And this doctor, she looked like hot, dude. Like, she was immaculate. But funny enough, actually, I'm not gonna lie, I remember a doctor came by and walked right past me as I was standing there looking at the photo, and she basically looked at me and said, "Oh, like, which doctor are you looking at?" I told her, you know, which one I was looking at, and said like, "Oh, she's like really pretty." And the doctor literally said, "Oh, yeah, no, she's not a doctor, she's a nurse, but she's really good, and she might become a doctor one day." I remember I looked at her and I'm like, nice, you know, as if like I knew what the heck she was talking about. In reality, I was just kind of looking at the doctor, because I won't lie, guys, like, she was hot, okay? Like, she was like really nice cherries and everything, and like, you know,
alone at the edge of a universe, humming a tune.
No, there was a peach on the line. Like, she looked good, okay, chat? Like, I'm not trying to be weird and stuff, but you guys know what I mean. So basically, I remember from there, I was kind of just like, you know, staring that down, and
for merely dreaming we were snow.
and then my mom basically grabbed me by my shoulder and said, "Come back, sit down in the waiting room." And we went and sat down. When we sat down back in the waiting room, I remember we kept waiting, and then eventually my name was called. "Mr. Baba, we could come see you now." Yeah, I don't know. It just sucked. Knowing my name got called, I was nervous. I remember I was shaking and sweating, and I remember I basically went to the table and laid down and basically waited for the doctor to come in. And after me and my mom talked for like 10 minutes yelling at each other that this was a really dumb idea to go to the doctors, the door opened. And when the door opened, I remember I turned my head to look at the doctor entering into the room, and it was her. The hottest damn nurse literally entered my room. Out of all the nurses that could enter the room, it was literally that nurse, the hottest nurse in the damn hospital. Like, holy cow. I remember I looked at her and opened my eyes wide. I'm like, "Hi," in the most weirdest way ever. Like, by the way, like, I was really awkward, and she looks at me and smiles, and like, I'm not gonna lie, like, her nurse's outfit was like probably 2 sizes too small, because like, damn, she got some. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting off topic, but basically she came up close to me and started like, you know, being like, "Oh, like, let me like check your heartbeat and all this stuff," and she was being like really dope. Like, oh my god, dude, like, it was a sight for sore eyes, you know what I mean? And I remember my mom, she was kind of like looking at me because she was kind of like weirded out by how my emotion changed so quickly from being scared to now literally look like I'm in this GTA. It made no sense to her. So I remember she stood up and she's like, "Are you the only doctor in the building?" And then she said, "Oh, no, ma'am. I'm literally the doctor that is based on alphabetical codex, and basically I am your son's nurse." Damn, son, the doctor came in right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was hyped, dude. Like, I'm sorry to break it to you guys. Like, knowing that in my alphabetical codex, I get this woman's name, have mercy. I started loving the hospital. I'm not gonna lie. I fell in love with the hospital.
Stop it.
And I remember it got to a point where, like, you know, she was basically asking me all these questions and stuff. And I remember my mom was kind of annoyed that this girl was so attractive. And yet I was getting the good doctor because she wanted me to, you know, actually have a doctor. I don't know. I'm being confused by saying nurse and doctor, but you guys know what I mean, right? Okay, anyways, going on with the story. I remember it got to the point where basically my mom stood up and said, okay, so like, when is the actual doctor coming? Because I know you're a nurse. And the doctor, aka nurse, turned around and said, well, actually, funny enough, I do have my PhD, but I keep a nurse's role in the hospital so I can, you know, keep working with people faster in a faster rate, whatever that means. And then I remember she turned her head, her hair in a ponytail, flicking around, and it was the most beautiful thing ever because she opened her eyes, looked directly at me and said, aren't you charming? Have mercy. Okay. And now I think you guys know where this is going, and I think I'm gonna say this part because this was really funny. I won't lie to you guys. So basically, the nurse basically does this one checkup that she has to do, where she basically puts her hand on my eggplant. Why did you just leave like that? That's so uncool. Like, oh my gosh,